better understand what is the objective. Right. Let me share your screen first. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in this course, we will of course start with some introduction to ML and DL, deep learning, where we require some amount of huge data and some huge number of operations handling huge layers. So those who are not at all having any previous experience, or those who have not got exposed to any task related to ML. So I think the basic idea of ML is that you have some amount of input set, you have some task to do, and based on some data inputs, the task is experiencing something, and based on that, it is actually applying that knowledge to some prediction fields. Now, when we are talking about DL, why we will be mostly talking about deep learning architectures here, because in case of deep learning architecture, this handling of data set, handling of data, a huge number of computations, this requirement is huge. And we will also discuss some practical examples, like we can think about your Alexa, we can think about our OK Google. When you are instructing that OK Google or Alexa, this type of devices, that Alexa, play this movie, play such and such movie. So maybe you are giving some instruction to this device, some learning procedure is going on, and based on that, some output is coming. But moreover, the challenge here is, the challenge actually twofold. First thing is that result you want instantly, you want in real time. It is not that you will instruct Alexa to play the Harry Potter movie, and you can, it's okay for you that you get the result, get the output after maybe 10 hours. So the output should be real time. That is one important feature when we are dealing with some embedded based systems. And another, on the contrary, another requirement is that everything you have to do, taking in mind that you are working on some very small resource constrained device. So whatever we are going to discuss in this course, basically they are conflicting. They're with some conflict interest. At one side, you have huge data, huge number of processing. On the other side, you have some devices which is resource constraints, low memory, low power, low computational resource. And the third requirement is everything, but the output is you want instantly, in maybe real time. So all these constraints, I mean, how they are actually meeting to one point, that will be our, focus of discussion. So that's why we will start our very basic, for those who have never done anything related to ML and DL and anything related to embedded system, very basic terms that we are going to use repeatedly. Then we will be talking about some recent DNN architectures. In that architecture, first, of course, we will start with VNet, that is the first DNN. And then we talked about some AlexNet, VGG, GoogleNet, InceptionNet. So those are basic recent DNN architectures that is getting used in with different objectives. Sometimes the objective is construction of depth. Sometimes it is handling multiple. So there are different types of objectives, and we will, when we will be discussing these things, we will be trying to we will be citing some examples, practical examples, for which type of requirement which model is suitable. But let me tell you, the left and right part, though I have written it separately, maybe it's like it's looking like it's a half and half of the course. That's nothing like that. In the first, the left part, we will try to finish quickly, maybe within 2 weeks, just by getting some understanding of these basic architectures. What is the basic theme idea of this architecture? That we will understand. After that, we will discuss about some challenges when we are trying to realize these architectures in embedded ML. So we will try to start with some facts and figures. Now, can you tell me that what type of maybe you have worked in different ML project or DL projects, right? Can you tell me some examples, what type of models you have used, and what is a data input requirement, data set handling requirement? Can you tell me? Any? Hello, can you hear me?
Ma'am, there are like two kinds of models that we work on. Like there can be some classification problem, or there can be any regression problem. So
Okay.
in those kind of situations,
Yeah, for the classification problem as of now. So what type of inputs and continue?
So in case of inputs, like we use some structured data or maybe unstructured data. Like there can be examples of structured data as like some house data set or some like real estate data set. They are structured data sets, but in case of like some language processing or something, they are unstructured data sets. So we work on those kinds of as input.
So what type of models you have used? And what was the size of your data set?
Mainly what I have read upon is classification models till now. So in case of classification models, like I've read about artificial neural networks for classification. And
yeah, I'm asking. Okay, I'm asking what is the size of the data set you have used?
Acha, means I haven't explicitly done any project on ML till now. Like I'm a second year student.
Okay, fine. No, okay. So anyone else? Okay, no problem. We will discuss whenever we will be discussing with this DNN architectures. We will be mentioning how many types. I mean, how many layers? How these different architectures, when we are talking about, how they are varying in terms of this type of layers, sometimes in types of features. So how they are varying, and what is the? I mean, today I'm telling just some vague words, maybe that it's huge requirement. And when in embedded ML, embedded scenario, I'm talking everything is restricted, everything is constrained. But in that in due course, when we will be discussing these architectures, I will be discussing what is the exact figure in terms of embedded platforms, what we have in terms of memory, in terms of existing power support, and in DNN architecture, what are actual requirements, how many data to handle, what type of processing to handle, etc. Okay. So once we understand that what is our problem according to the present literature, then we will discuss we focus on discussing some possible solutions. This time we will again visit this DNN architectures, revisit them, and we will try to optimize them or modify them in terms of certain possible optimizations or certain tweaking Like one solution is applying some hierarchy, using some cascaded process. When we do that, when we change that existing algorithm in that way, we will check, maybe those who have worked with machine learning, you know that when we talk about this type of some ML or DL algorithms, we talk about precision, we call some parameters. So to justify our model, to check, to validate our model. So we will again check, we will try to get some understanding how our changes, how our proposed optimizations, changing those parameters, and how this model is getting modified to be suitable for embedded platform. Okay. Another solution, another type of solution is hardware and algorithm co-optimization. In this case, again, we will revisit that architecture and we will try to see if we can actually modify that network structure in terms of any sparsity present in it. Like I can, at this point, I can just give you one simple example. Like you are dealing with some inputs, maybe a huge input set. If some amount of data you know that is sparse, and you can avoid some computations based on those knowledge, so that part will be incorporated in our structure. Of course, if we can decrease some computation, we can gain some other factors that may be suitable to be mapped to our embedded scenario. Next, we will discuss about that network structure and also one important feature about fault tolerance. Maybe since some of you here are from computer science, you understand fault tolerance in some scenario, for some aspect. Maybe the meaning of fault tolerance for who are coming from electrical background or coming from electronics background or naval background, for them this meaning of fault tolerance may be a bit different. Here we will actually define what we mean by this fault tolerance in machine learning scenario. And then again we will revisit these architectures and check how we can include, incorporate some fault. Maybe I can say, maybe in the context of our next discussion, next topic, approximate computing, how we can introduce maybe some error in our algorithm execution, in our operators. Maybe we are using during the execution process, we are using some addition or multiplication. Very simple example. If that multiplication is faulty, maybe it works 75 times, it gives proper result, 25 times it gives some faulty result. We know that there is some fault. Still, can we use that faulty operator in our machine learning architecture? Still, we can get some accuracy, manageable accuracy, acceptable accuracy. So that will be our discussion point. Similarly, there are different aspects of approximate computing. We will discuss more when we'll go to that part. Next, similar to that, this dynamic voltage accuracy, this scaling. So there will be some voltage scaling, there will be some accuracy compromise, but still scaling in other features. And how that is affecting our DNN architecture and making it suitable to learn, to apply in embedded. Okay, that will be our. At last, there will be two things. One is envision and one will be binary AI. Now, these two are recent neural network processors. These are, one is for energy scalability and another one is always on to apply some NN features in always on scenario. Like in your wearable device, you want to run some NN model. So there you can understand, wearable device means maybe some smart band you are wearing in your hand. there the battery, the power support is very low. So it is not that you can run any model you want or a huge model you want. But if you do not run, do not consider a certain amount of data set, certain amount of operations, of course you cannot guarantee accuracy. So these two problems, how we can handle better with this binary eye solution, we will discuss that. Those are mostly very recent processors, especially important in embedded NN scenario. Okay, so this will be our main course structure. You can, this is a, I have shared one study link here. This actually this presentation I will share in our Teams link. There you will find this link for study materials. Here you can go and some of the topics will be basically from recent research papers.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, pardon?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking too much, ma'am.
Breaking. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so what I was mentioning that here I have shared a link that is related to a drive link. That there I have kept one book as of now, another book I will share. So whatever we will discuss, you can follow that book. Most of the topics you will find there, and the rest of the topics maybe that is mostly from research papers. So as and when we will discuss that, I will put it there. So if you access that drive folder, you can get those papers and study materials. Okay. Any questions so far? First of all, can you hear me? I don't know. Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, Professor.
Okay.
You're audible.
Okay. So this is our basic course structure, and as I told about the study material. Now about the assignment. So whatever we will discuss in the theory class, that will be mainly for our class tests, mid-sem and end-sem. You have to study and you have to answer some questions. But your assignment will be based on some tiny ML, that is a framework, you can say, that is the field of study nowadays. So in this tiny ML, in this framework, basically Ayan and Gautam is here. They will help you. They will show you how you can actually run some machine learning, some ML models on embedded framework for that embedded platform. For that embedded platform, the suggested hardware is this Arduino Sense board. But we understand that since you are not in the campus and everything we have to manage online, so maybe you are not having the access of that board, but they will show you how you can actually do the coding, you can get the output only in the software part. And when they will evaluate, they will basically run your code in this Arduino, this actual board. Okay, they will try to do it. So this is a microcontroller board, which basically you as of now it is written, but you can skip the name of the controller, etc. You can understand that this is a microcontroller board with some memory it has. We will again discuss about what is the basic structure of a microcontroller and how is the association of memory. And then associated with that, we have a few sensors. So this is the structure of this this Arduino sensing board along with this peripheral processors. And the library we were going to use, that is a TensorFlow like library. Don't worry, Anand and Gautam will guide you in that, how to use that and how to implement run the model and how to implement that in the board step by step. So whatever assignments will be given, maybe 2, 3 or 4 assignments, 2 or 3 maybe will be given, assignments will be given, that you have. So you have to go through that, you have to submit that in the Teams. And the grading given. You can see there with the for assignment there will be 20% marks, class test 10%, midterm 20%, and some 40%, and there will be 10% marks allocated at the end of this course. Maybe last month you have to submit one presentation that may 10 or maybe 15 minutes presentation. You have to you have to prepare the presentation, you have to record your voice and method to it. There you will teach us, all of the rest of the class, you will take one example, one ML algorithm of your choice, and how that can be actually ported to some embedded device. Maybe I will suggest you can browse through once we advance in this course. You can browse in the Google. You can take help from Ayan and Gautam. They will help you. And there are different case studies available, different research papers available. Maybe you will not understand the whole thing, whatever written in the paper at this stage, but at least you can focus on the takeaway idea, that what type of model, how we can actually map them. You can find very interesting examples from the domain of automotive, from the domain of medical devices. So these are very prominent. These two fields are very, maybe agriculture level. So there are different domains from which you can actually choose this example application, and how they are getting mapped that application to some embedded device. So based on that, you have to prepare your own presentation, maybe for 15 minutes. So that is the overall course plan and the grading plan. So do you have any question? Do you want anything to ask?
Ma'am, it was unclear what we have to do in the last month, like the presentation, what it has to contain. That was quite unclear. Can you please repeat once?
Okay, yeah. So that time maybe you will be having some good amount of knowledge about this type of ML algorithms and how we are optimizing them for embedded scenario. What type of embedded platforms and are possible where this machine learning algorithms can be deployed, correct? So that time you have to search one research papers. Maybe we can help you, but we want first you can serve. We can browse through Google. So one research paper that containing the example application of one machine learning algorithm that is getting mapped to embedded scenario or embedded platform. Some example, how they are mapping and what's your idea about it. Based on that, you have to prepare one presentation. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Yeah. Don't worry, once we advance with the course, this part will get clear to you. Anything else? Any other question? This Arduino Nano, this Science board, no need to procure from your part because you can do only the soft coding. We will provide the platform and how to do it. But this hardware part, you can just see when the and Gautam they can see a demo to you. You can just check there, and once you submit the code, they will try to run and test that code in Arduino or this board itself. Okay, so how to do it, that we will learn. Anything else?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Like what I wanted was already the Tuesday schedule of mine is very hectic. Like from morning I have classes. So if everyone agrees and if it's possible, can we have classes on Saturday?
See, I already told that one. Okay, I do not have any problem. Saturday 9 to 11 or 10 to 12. That is fine for me. But you discuss because if I tell that okay, I am going to take the class, some students maybe they are having some problem or they will not agree. So what I suggest that you discuss among yourself. All of you are having the mail ID. Maybe I can share that. I will share you once again. So one second. So someone in the chat has written, ma'am, do we have any prerequisite knowledge on embedded system? No, whatever you could, I will discuss here, and I will give some supporting materials. Okay. So about the class lot? What I suggest you discuss it among yourselves. If you are suggesting to take me class 2 hours, I have no problem. Then I will shift that this 2 hour slot there and 1 hour slot in export. So that is up to you. Okay. Anything else? Any other question? If not, so that's all for today. Maybe someone is trying to join now. Just a second. Okay. If not, you can leave the link. Today I'm not going to start anything. We will start from tomorrow. Okay.
Ma'am, what is the timing for tomorrow?
Timing that will be from 5 to 6. Maybe someone requested so we can start from 5:15 to 6:15. That's also fine for me. Maybe 5:15 to 6:15 because some of your friends they have only requested. You can see the shared link. So maybe 5:15 to 6:15. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So and what you are planning for that Saturday class? Just let me know. Maybe that we can plan. I have no problem for that. If you want to stick to this schedule, fine for me. And if you want to change to Saturday schedule, that is also fine for me. Okay. And Ayan and Gautam is here, so they will be your TA, so they can help you if you have some other questions. Okay, if you do not have any question, you can leave today. It is the first day, I think. That should be enough.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.